Well, since the turn of the century, the diagnosis of autism is increasing exponentially, up 417% since 2000. To find out what's causing that and the very latest ways to treat this neurological disorder, I spoke with an expert who's been studying autism for more than 4 decades. Dr. Doreen Granpeesheh is the founder of the Centers for Autism and Related Disorders, and she joins us today from Los Angeles. Thank you, doctor. The first question: is the rise in autism due to better detection or something else?
So the rise in autism, obviously, there is better detection. There's no question. There have been a lot of improvement in training for doctors, as well as there's a lot more awareness. But I don't think that can explain this unbelievably remarkable increase. I think it more has to do with what autism is. And autism is a genetic predisposition that is triggered by an environmental factor. And the environmental factor is toxins. And these children have a very difficult time detoxing. And so, of course, when you are exposed to toxicity, your brain develops in a different way. And a lot of chemicals and enzymes that should be produced are not produced. And that will alter your learning and your behavior.
Specifically, what types of toxins are we talking about?
The primary type of toxin is pesticides. And of course, there are many other types of toxins. There's formaldehyde in all of the products we use at home. But pesticides are really, really prevalent in our food. And they can actually cause a lot of mischief, both in the gut, where we have our immune system, as well as in the brain.
Doctor, 1 in 36 American children now being diagnosed with autism, and it appears that boys are affected much more greatly than girls. Is that correct?
There are 4 times as many boys, which means that it is 1 in 23 boys, if you can imagine. I never thought I would live to hear that number. When I started in the field like 30, 40 years ago, it was 1 in 10,000 children. It has increased tremendously.
Is there a standard way to treat autism, or is each child unique and requires a specific game plan or treatment plan?
Generally, every child on the spectrum is a little bit different. It's a very, very wide spectrum. So you have children who are verbal, high functioning, and can actually, with some support, live a very normal life. And then you have children who are very severely affected, who have absolutely no way to communicate or take care of themselves. So the treatment has to be individualized. And then you want to provide what's called ABA, or Applied Behavior Analysis. That is the one treatment that has been authorized, is paid for by health insurance in our country. And it is a teaching technique. And basically, with ABA, clinicians will work with your child to teach them the skills they need to survive, and in a lot of cases, to thrive.
So, doctor, if you're diagnosed with autism, will you always have it for your entire life?
There's a lot of discussion about using words like cure or recovered. I believe that there are a lot of children who have overcome the symptoms that would cause you to be diagnosed. So they would no longer qualify for a diagnosis of autism if they've had the right interventions early on. But then there are also individuals who struggle with autism throughout their lives.
You mentioned toxicity as a key factor. There are those that argue that child vaccines play some role in the prevalence of autism. Do you dismiss that?
Yes, there are those that believe that vaccines are solely responsible for the rise in autism. And the truth is, there are so many toxins in our environment that nobody could ever really pinpoint which toxin put the child over the limit. It's more important, I think, at this point to focus on, if you have a child with autism, it's really important to focus on getting them better and not really looking back. A lot of parents look back and kind of blame themselves and think, what did I do to make this happen? Where really we just don't know enough yet.
Dr. Doreen Grand-Verche from Los Angeles, autism expert and the founder of the Center for Autism and Related Disorders. Thank you so much for your valuable time and valuable information.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure being here.